by it. It's super comfortable. I'm really happy with the sweater. And I know I said that I didn't think that I would knit another one, but hear me out. Hi everybody, my name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. Here on this channel we talk about knitting, sewing, crochet, a little bit of cross stitch, or whatever other crafty rabbit hole I happen to be diving down at that time. And in today's video we are going to talk about some works in progress, one finished object, and I think that's really about it. This week is going to be a really short one because I didn't really make a lot of progress on anything, and I have been working on another video for you guys as well, like a bonus video, but more about that in a second. You guys can find me on Ravelry as Tiffany Loves Yarn, and you can find me on Instagram as Tiffs_inspired life. I'll put the info right here. And then of course you can find me here on YouTube. We are at 59 subscribers as of this recording, and I know that I want to do a giveaway at 100 subscribers, so I'm hoping that this video will push us past the 100 subscriber mark and then we can do a giveaway, so yay! If you are a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so glad that you are here. And if you are a new viewer, welcome. Hi, hello. I'm so happy you're here as well. And if you enjoy this video and you want to see more content from me, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button and comment because I respond to all of them. And with that, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? All right, so as you guys can see, I finished my wind cardigan. Yay! So happy about that. It is made with Barocco Vintage in the colorway Pumpkin. I will put a pop-up right here for the pattern and the details and all that jazz. This was a super fun knit. This was my second oldest project in my Ravelry queue. I started this sweater in September of 2021, so I just made the 2-year mark. It's a super easy pattern. There's no reason for the fact that it should have taken 2 years, except it took 2 years. There you go. I did so many other things in the middle. It's a whole lot of stockinette stitch, so it's great for mindless knitting, but sometimes, you know, you just want a challenge. So this one was one that I would pull out and put back and pull out and put back, but now it is finished, and I will put a little footage here or here, one of the two, of me wearing it so you can see how it fits. It is a slightly cropped sweater with really long sleeves, and it's really comfortable. I did a twisted rib for the sleeves and for the hem, and then it's got a garter neckband that goes down the front. It was a lot of fun to knit. I do have one mistake that I made, and I'm fine with it. So when I scooched you guys back a little bit. All right, so when I bound off this sleeve, I didn't do a stretchy bind off. I did a regular bind off, and then you mattress stitch the sleeve onto the sweater. So this side has no give, but you know, I think that with wear and with time, it'll pop out, and you can't tell, to be honest. And the other one, I of course did the stretchy bind off, so you know, we have give and the world's a beautiful place. But like I said, I'm not particularly bothered by it. It's super comfortable. I'm really happy with the sweater. And I know I said that I didn't think that I would knit another one, but hear me out. I have 4 skeins of Madeline Tosh, her hand-dyed yarn, the Tosh Vintage, that I've had in my stash for a while. And this colorway is called Modern Fair Isle. It's 200 yards or 182 meters, and it uses a recommended size 7 or size 9 needle, which is perfect because I did the ribbing on a size 7 needle, and I knit the sleeves and the body of the sweater on a size 8. So, you know, these were meant to be. And this is what the yarn looks like. Oh, there's the label first. All right. And here's what the yarn looks like. How pretty is that? So I'm thinking that I might actually make the sweater again, and this will be a good use of this. So we'll see if I do it again. Funny story about the sleeve. So remember I said that I had to stop working on the sweater because I had run out of yarn and I was gonna have to order some more. So I decided that I was gonna do a crochet project, and I went down to the garage to get a skein of yarn, and what I got was a ball of this. And I was like, oh, it's fall, it's gonna be perfect, because it's gonna be for that plant over there. It's a fake plant that I got at IKEA, and I just wanted to be able to crochet a little cozy to put around the base of it, because I have one here in my bedroom and one in the office where I normally record. And I wanted to just have something kind of fall-y to cover the base, so it just wasn't this big black pot just sitting there. So I grabbed this ball of yarn because I'm like, oh, it's fall, it's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And as I'm walking up the stairs, I'm like, this yarn looks kind of familiar. I think this is the yarn for the wind sweater. I'm like, no, it can't be. So I get upstairs, and the sleeve is sitting on my bed from this sleeve is sitting on the bed. And I put the ball of yarn on it, and I'm like, oh, this is definitely the yarn. Let me open it up and, hold 2 strands together and see if it's the same weight. It's the same weight. So I'm like, okay, this is clearly the same yarn. So let me just make the other sleeve. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I didn't have to buy any yarn. And I was worried that the sleeves weren't going to be long enough, because I forgot that the garter panel drops down off the shoulder and comes part of the way down the arm. So I felt like I was kind of playing yarn chicken a little bit in terms of making the sleeves long enough, but as you can see, the sleeves are plenty long. So again, overall, really happy. Didn't have to find any more yarn to finish it, and it's done, and it's off the needles. Really love it, and think I'm definitely going to make another one. So yeah, elephant in the room, the wind sweater, finished. Yes, so happy. All right, let's see. I have not been knitting a lot aside from this and little bits here and there on some socks. I really just haven't been. Work is kind of crazy. I think I said in my first video, that I'm a mortgage underwriter by profession. That's what I do. And it's a very numbers-based job, which is ironic because I hate math, and yet here I am. We have a 0 margin for error in our job. You're not allowed to make a mistake, because you're underwriting mortgages, and a mistake could be a $250,000 mistake, and that's not even counting the interest. And sometimes you just need a break from that. So on Monday, I told my boss that I was just going to take a break for a couple of days, and I used some PTO time, and so I just kind of puttered around the house, and I baked some banana bread, and I made a chili, and I rearranged my front room. I made like a quick 2-minute video. It's I'll put a card for it right here if you guys want to go see it. It's where I remodeled my front room from the cat room that it had become to just it's ready for the fall. And so yeah, I did that one day, and the rest of the time I've just been knitting on little projects here and there. Let's see. So first up is, okay, this one will be first. So first up is this one. You guys should remember I did the sparkly yarn for the cuff, and I've just been working on the foot on this one. And I've been working on my socks at night when I'm sitting in my bed. I'm listening to right now on Audible the complete short stories of Sherlock Holmes. It's like 70 hours, and I've not heard or read all of them, And there's a lot of them. So I figured, why not just listen to them on Audible while I'm knitting socks? So that's what I've been doing. I knit on the foot of my socks while I listen to the story. So this one is knit on the 2.25 9-inch circulars, cast on 64 stitches, regular heel flap and gusset, nothing special. This is still the first sock. I still haven't done the second one, but I already told you guys I haven't been knitting a lot. So that's that one. The other one that I have been knitting on is, if you guys remember, I have the Super Sock from Germany. This is the one that you can do the family pack of socks. You're supposed to be able to get a women's pair, a men's pair, and a child's pair out of it. And so here's where I am, still on the first one. I have done the heel flap and gusset, and I used a contrasting yarn for the heel. Let me see. There it is. I think this yarn is really pretty, and if I had enough, I would definitely make a pair of socks out of this, but I don't. It's this pretty striped tonal. I really, really like it. But so I did the heel flap and gusset, and I finished the gusset really fast, and I was like, something doesn't seem right here. So I counted the stitches across the top of the foot, because this is another one on the 9-inch circulars, the 2.25, and I had 36 stitches across the top. And when I did the heel flap, I did it on only 32 stitches, not 36. Like, I guess I forgot that when I started this sock, I had started it with the 72 stitches, not my normal 64, because this was intended to be for my friend Michelle's husband. And I forgot. So I put the sock down. I couldn't be bothered with it. And I'll put a little footage right here. We have a 1-year-old cat. His name is Walter. And the other day we let him actually stay out at night. Normally he goes into my daughter's bedroom and she closes the door. But we let him stay out just to see, what would happen, because we also have a senior cat. And they did really good. But Walter did this. And at that point, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is a sign. Well, because, the yarn is no longer attached to the sock. I wonder if I should go back and do the heel flap again. But since I had done it in a contrasting yarn, that meant I was going to have to pull back, reattach the contrasting yarn, increase the heel flap, that many more rows. What was it, 4 more rows? And then redo the gusset all over again. And I decided that in the end, I wasn't going to start it all over again, because I have so much of the yarn. I will just make a pair of socks that's on the 72 stitches with the heel flap at the 32. And if they fit Jay, then I'll give them to him. And if they don't fit him, then I'll just give them to one of the girls. Maybe I'll give them to Aya, because she wears like a women's 8.5 and it won't matter. And it's not like I don't have plenty of yarn left to do this the right way. So that's that. I think it really just needing to take a break from work and being so stressed out about it has made me, right now, I'm just like, oh, it's a mistake and it can stay that way. So that's what I've been working on for that. What else have I been working on? Okay, I have been working on the Novelli, and the Novelli is still not finished, but I did block the Novelli because I wanted to see if it was going to be long enough, and here it is. And how pretty. Are you guys getting it? Yeah, how pretty is this? I'm really happy with it. This is the Cascade Heritage sock, and since this was originally my very first color work project, this was the one that I started like in, I think it was 2019, I think it was. I'll put the Ravelry project page right here. I can't remember, but I decided that, with this being the oldest project in my Ravelry queue, it needed to be finished. So I blocked it to see if it was going to be long enough, and it's like an inch or two too short. So I decided that I was going to finish the sleeves, and then I'll go back and I'll steek this and add an inch or two, because I have this much yarn left, you know, which is a good sized amount. And I don't need a lot, because this is what the sleeve does. And so for me, I needed to knit 17 rows in the red, and then I think it's 25 rows in the brown, because the sleeve is supposed to fold in half and a little bit of the brown is supposed to peek out, you know, like this. It's supposed to, just a little bit is supposed to peek out, and you're supposed to oops, I just dropped a stitch. There we go. And you're supposed to bind off the sleeve to the inside to your cast on row. So yeah, so I only have, all that to say, just to do 17 rows for the other sleeve, and then I'll have the rest of the yarn, so I will have more than enough to add an inch or two. So if I do brave it and steek this sweater, I will record it so you guys can see me cutting the yarn, and we will go from there. But I just think it's really, really pretty, and for my first color work project, I'm really happy with it. I was really worried about the fact that perhaps maybe my gauge might have changed over time, because it had sat languishing for so long, and actually you can't really tell that the gauge is off, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you can't tell. Once it was blocked, you can't tell at all that my gauge changed. So I was really pleased with that. So hopefully the next time you guys see me, I will be finished with this one and I'll be wearing it. That'll be nice. I definitely want to go back and do this again. If you are somebody that hasn't done a color work pattern before, or if you want to learn some new techniques, like this has a 3 needle bind off for the shoulder, I highly recommend this pattern. Caitlin Hunter, she's the pattern goddess to begin with, but this pattern was really, really great, and I can't recommend it enough if you're somebody that's just learning how to do color work. And my Novelli is living in my llama bag, my purple llama bag. Purple used to be my favorite color, and so I have like a lot of purple project bags that I've just gotten over the years. I think I got this one on Etsy. If I did, I will leave the shop in the description below. But yep, so that's the other thing that I've been working on. I have, I think, 3 things left. Okay, so first is I did go back and I posted a picture on the community tab. I did go back and change this to the 2x2 rib, like I said I would do, and I'm so much happier with it. It's so funny that just what a difference just something as simple as changing your ribbing can make. Because remember, I was like really put off by, you know, the way the heel turned out, the way the ribbing looked, the fact that the sock was a little bit too big, because my gauge was different. That, and I used the wrong size needle. I knit these on a 2.75 where I normally use the 2.25, and I'm actually really happy with it now that I've changed the ribbing. So I'm definitely going to go back and make the other one, because these were a toe-up sock and they were my first time doing toe-up socks. So I'm definitely going to go back and make the other one. I did frog the other one that was in the unicorny colors that was in my first video. Because that one, ironically, was on a 2.75 needle as well. I don't know why, but I think if I go back and I decide to redo them again, I will do a contrasting toe and then go from there. But as it stands right now, it's just frogged. Let's see. I have one finished object, literally just the one, well, aside from this one, sock-wise. And I finished my Summer Vibe sock, but only one. I haven't done the other one. So I had done the poll asking you guys what color I should use, whether I should use the kind of muted colors or the bright ones, and you guys voted for the bright ones, so that's what I used. And here is what the sock looks like. and I think it came out really cute. The only thing I did change was that I noticed I had 2 shades of pink and a purple in that batch of colors that I had asked you guys about. So I changed one of the pinks to the hot orange, the neon orange. And after I finished the color changes, my foot still wasn't long enough, and so I had to do 9 more rows, and then I was able to decrease for the toe. And I started out doing the color work one way. First I started out with the orange and I started with a float, but then I decided to just catch and just weave as I went, to catch so that I wouldn't have floats, because I was worried that if I had floats that I wasn't going to have enough give, especially since I knit this on my 9-inch circulars. I didn't knit them magic loop, so I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough give. So I changed that from having floats to just catching it, where you wrap the color that you're not knitting with around the needle once, then you wrap the color that you are knitting with around the needle, and then you unwrap the other one so it kind of catches it in the back. If you guys have never seen that, or you've never learned that, use that technique, let me know if you want me to do a tutorial for it. I'll be more than happy to. I also don't Kitchener my toes because I hate to Kitchener. I do the Finchley bind off. So if you want, well, not if you want, but I'm definitely going to do a tutorial on how I do that. I know it's only 8 stitches, but I don't enjoy the Kitchener, and the Finchley to me is just super easy, super quick. There's nothing to remember. So I'm going to do a tutorial for that that'll show up on the channel probably in the next couple of weeks. But I don't have the orange in here with me, but I have this much of the colors left, so I have plenty left over to do the other sock, and then I'll have enough left over that it'll just probably end up in my magic knot ball. And we'll go from there. But yeah, that's what I've got, is the one. I'm really pleased with it. My daughters saw it, and then one of them came along and she was like, oh, can you do that one in pastels? And then the other one was like, can you do it in pinks? And then I was like, oh, this would be really cool in greens. So I definitely will be making some more. I hadn't made a pair of shorty socks in a couple of years, and I forgot how much fun they are. They're kind of like instant gratification, really. But yeah. The only other thing that I have been working on knitting wise is I'm starting to do my Christmas knitting, and so I am working on a Sophie scarf. So yep, I am working on a Sophie scarf because I'm going to give a couple of them more of Shiva's fur for Christmas. So this is how far I am on this one. This is a super quick, super easy, very mindless pattern. Great for TV knitting. It's a pattern by Petite Knits. If you don't know, Everyone and Its Mother, I think, has made one. I'll put a little pop-up right here for it though. And to make mine, I am using some Wool of the Andes by Knit Picks. This is their sport weight, and it's called Aurora Heather. The pattern's kind of blowing it out. I mean, like this, you can see the heathering that's in it, but it's actually like a really deep green. This is coming off more like in the teal family. So I'll leave a pop-up somewhere up here for what the yarn actually looks like. But I thought that I would make a couple of Sophie scarves along with a few pairs of socks and at least 2 pairs of mittens for Christmas for people. So I figured I would get started on the Sophie scarf. So I've been working on that. The other thing I have been working on, like I said, I wanted to make a cozy for the 2 plants. And so I had to go back downstairs, obviously, and get the yarn because the pumpkin belonged to a sweater. And I decided on this one. And it was just some old leftover acrylic yarn that I had. I'm not even sure what it is, to be honest with you. Yeah, I couldn't even begin to, yeah, no, I just know that it's acrylic. but I figured that it would be just fine for a plant cover. And I'm not using a pattern. I'm just gonna do the single crochet until it is the size of the base of the planter, and then I think I'm just gonna do crochet ribbing around. That way I can make it kind of tight so it'll stick. And so this is as far as we've gotten. There we go. That's it. That's as far as I've gotten. Because I just got started, but when I started it, it was in the evening. And I didn't feel like getting up to turn the light on so that I could see the stitches. And I am using a 3.5 millimeter arrow crochet hook. I have a set of, I believe that they're Susan Bates, but I actually prefer the arrow crochet hooks. This is my mother's set that she got when we lived in England when I was little. So she gave them to me, and they're not all in here because some of them are in other projects, but see if I can get this one back in there. This is what they look like. And I really enjoy using them. They're made out of metal. I think that these ones, they don't say what they're made out of. I don't know. I want to say that these ones, you know, Baits are made out of aluminum, and these don't feel like they're made out of aluminum, but it could just be the coating. Another reason that I'm inclined to think that they're not made out of aluminum is because the metal ones feel, you know, the really fine ones, they feel more like steel. So I think these are steel with a coating on them. But when I crochet, these are what I tend to crochet with. These are just what I prefer. It feels better on my hand, which is another reason that I think that it's steel and not aluminum. Yeah, I like these ones. They're comfortable. But I know everybody else on YouTube, I tend to always see the Bates or the boy, so I just thought I would show you guys that, you know, there are other brands out there to try. Yeah, I'm gonna make the two cozies for the plants, and then I will just change the colors out for Christmas, and then I'll change the covers out again for the spring. Let's see, I think that's, yeah, the bag is empty. So that's everything that I have been working on. The other thing that I have been working on is a bonus video for you guys, and it's called the 10 sweaters that I want to knit. And I actually redid all of the screen share recordings yesterday, so I'm hoping that you guys will get that video up next Sunday. This video will be for this Sunday, and that one will be for next Sunday, so you'll have a video every week instead of every 2 weeks, at least this go round. I'm also going to do one for cardigans that I want to knit, and I think hats that I want to knit. So that's what I've been working on, is that video. And the other thing I have been playing around with is writing a knitting pattern. So I'll have more to tell you guys about that later. And it's going to be a free knitting pattern, obviously, because, you know, I'm just starting out. But and it'll be free to, of course, all of my subscribers, and it'll be free on Ravelry. But it's a work in progress. I'm hoping that that will be done by the end of September, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. It's a sock. Super excited. But anyway, that's all I've been working on. Not a whole heck of a lot to show for this video as far as finished objects are concerned. But yeah, I think that's everything. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content from me, please hit that like and subscribe button and comment, because like I said, I respond to every comment. Be sure to check the community tab, because I often put polls up there asking you guys different questions, like what do you want your free item to be, or your gift, or your thank you to be for my 100 subscribers, for example. Also, if I have a project that I'm working on, I tend to put a survey up asking you guys what you think about whatever my dilemma happens to be. Anyway, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.